Hey everyone, so I am Shauna and you're watching Ex Felon Unfiltered. When I moved with this family member, like a lot of stuff started changing and shifting. Now this became like damn near a whole business, if you want to say. So I exhausted my Bank of America account, my TD account, and my PNC account. So I exhausted three accounts. Only had one account, which was the Citizens Bank account. So I was always told that credit unions are better than bank accounts. So um I did research on credit unions, so I transferred my social security check over into my credit union check. So, being though I transferred my stuff over to my credit union account, guess what? I had another account to mess up, basically. After I transferred my social security information to my credit union account, I had Citizens Bank account basically to mess up. So it was a check deposit into that account, and I was able to, the bank cleared the account. We withdrew the money, and then again that account was dead. So now I number one don't have no way to get any more money because I then cleared all four of my accounts, and now I got the credit union account, which I just opened and put my social security information to be able to get it through there. So um with all the checks that got cleared and all the accounts that died, I was doing like, what you want to say, I'll say like secretary type work, recruiting type work, um so people can open up accounts and basically do everything I did, and everything I did, and they open up an account, put a check in there, they get a portion and we get a portion. It was like a whole business thing. And the the times that we like deposit the money and everything, it was all, and it was based around what time the banks opened and what time the banks closed. Any, I guess you would say, way of doing illegal things and trying to get fast money, you had to like move around a lot. So within us doing this illegal stuff, we had to move around a lot because in the beginning, using all of my real information. So at any given point, I'm using my real information and I'm living at that address, and I get court. All they gotta do is just come to that address and come get me. And at this point, like, I didn't really take this whole thing as like, oh my God, I am going to get court one day until like later on when things started happening and people started doing weird stuff and moving around weird. And when you're doing illegal stuff, your head has to be on the swivel. You got to keep looking behind your back and all that extra stuff. And when it came to time when I started having to do that, it was very uncomfortable. Even though at the time I didn't have a religion, I did believe that there was a God. I did believe in God. Um, but I'll say I didn't have a religion. I didn't have fear that, oh, one day I'm going to get locked up, or one day um some I didn't have like dumb type of fears until like later on, until like people started messing up. And what I mean by messing up is like, if you know that you're out here doing illegal work, you doing illegal stuff, why you doing why you're doing other stuff, not thinking about the illegal stuff you're doing. So then I started thinking like, some way, somehow I gotta get out of this, and I don't know. I don't know when, and I don't know how. And the same thing with being a criminal and doing criminal activity. You can't stay in the same place. So we was moving from place to place in Philly. And then when stuff started, when people was doing dumb stuff and stuff started getting hot, and a lot of other things started happening, we had to move. So we started looking to move out of state. So we moved out of state, still doing coming back to Philly, doing illegal stuff. It was like a whole big thing. That kind of think about me getting into bank fraud was like unbelievable to me because of, number one, how I am, and I knew that that wasn't me. I knew that how uncomfortable I felt doing certain stuff regarding regarding writing bad checks, depositing bad checks, um recruiting people to open up new accounts. We had um establishing the new account so it can be like in good standard before we, mess it up and things like that. As these things kept on happening, it was like other mistakes people was making, other things that was happening, which we went from one state to another state. One state, it was obviously closer to Philly, and then the same state that was closer to Philly, we lived two places there, and then we moved to um Virginia. But the whole point of me saying is that when you're doing illegal activity, technically you can't SHIT where you eat at. So that's part of the reason why we had to move around a whole lot. And with us moving around a whole lot, another thing that we had to do was figure out how we going to recruit other people. Because obviously, like the states that we lived in, like we're not recruiting people from them states. So it was another way that we had to go about being able to have different accounts open for different people in order for the money to keep coming in, and so we can be able to do that in whatever state we was in, whether it was Delaware, Virginia, or Maryland. So basically all over the East Coast and coming back and forth to Philly, still doing the criminal activity. I knew that I wanted to get out of this because there's no way y'all keep messing up. And when I say keep messing up is getting pulled over by the cops. A family member got locked up twice for something different. People getting pulled over. It was one day that it was a hurricane where we was at. The car got stuck and they had to call the cops to help them. So people was getting messing up and getting the cops involved in the mess up, which ultimately led to people going to jail. So this is Shauna, and you're watching Ex Felon Unfiltered.